Chris Mackowski of Emerging Civil War. I'm in Littleton, Colorado, one of the suburbs of Denver. I'm here to speak to the Denver Civil War Roundtable, and I thank them for their hospitality to bring me out here. It's a beautiful day here. You can see some dark clouds rolling in over the Rocky Mountains. It's a little windy here, as you can probably hear. One of the things I wanted to see while I was out here was the memorial to the Columbine shooting. You might remember on April 20th, 1999, two gunmen who were students at the high school opened fire, unleashing a reign of terror that led to 12 student deaths, as well as one faculty member, scores of people injured as a part of that. It was the most significant school shooting in American history up to that point. Not the first, but certainly one that really hit American consciousness in a way that I hadn't before. And I'll be honest, school shootings are a thing I cannot abide. Why we allow them to continue to happen is beyond me. And I don't want to get political, but as we think about our study of the Civil War and the cost of lives, and remembering that these are not abstract figures, the 720,000 men who died and those who were injured and the people on the home front who suffered, it tends to be abstract for us because it's more than 160 years ago. But I come to a site like this where the history is a lot more recent, and I'm reminded in a very vivid way just how real that history is and how real these people are. And it's easy for us to get caught up in politics and hysteria, just as they did in the 1850s. And look how many deaths that led to. And so today, it might serve as a good check for us to kind of rethink as we get excited about our own politics. We know, as fans of the Civil War, as students of the Civil War, as people deeply interested in the Civil War, we know where that led and what the cost was. And so coming to a memorial like this contextualizes that for me in a really profound and relevant way. As you walk into the memorial, past these fountains, there's actually a small plaza here that's dedicated to the 12 students and one faculty member who were killed during that day's event. On the middle of the ground here is a big ribbon shaped like a heart that says, "Never Forgotten." Each of these tablets behind me has a small dedication to each one of the victims who were here, some personal testimonies about each of them. They're beautiful. Outside of that small little inner sanctum, there's a larger area that has a wall of remembrance, and it's got little reflections and thoughts on it here. This is to commemorate those scores of students who were injured. Even the paramedics, as they were responding, they came under fire. So it was a pretty tumultuous and traumatic event. Although, as one of these reflections says, people talk about defining events in their lives, but this person refused to be defined by this event. Also, as part of this trip, I took a day to run up to Laramie, Wyoming, where Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen played. I was walking in the footsteps of Josh Allen for a bit. But I also stopped to pay my respects at a memorial to a University of Wyoming student named Matthew Shepard. Shepard was a young gay man who had been abducted by some local residents, taken out into the countryside, beaten, killed, left by the roadside, hanging out of barbecue pits. It's the middle of June, it's Pride Month, so you can see other visitors have left some memorabilia at the memorial for Matthew. Shortly thereafter, playwright Moises Kaufman and the Tectonic Theater Company came to town. They interviewed hundreds of people. They used the transcripts from that to create a play called The Laramie Project, a marvelous piece of theater. And it's a way of the community kind of coming to grips and coming to terms with this tragedy. And it reminded me very much of this Columbine Memorial, which is also a way for the community to come together to cope with this tragedy. One of the many reflections that's on this wall is a great line from a parent who said that I hope people come here to this place to think about how they themselves can be better people rather than come here to reflect on death. And maybe that's my challenge to you today. My reason for coming here is how can we think about how we can be better people, which is always something to strive for. I'm Chris Mackowski for Emerging Civil War. We'll see you online and on the battlefield.